Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Amit Bhattacharya from Ramjas College, University of Delhi. Today we are going to discuss about a module Plasmodium Drug Targets Part 2 under paper Biology of Parasitism. The learning objectives of this module are: first, know about potent antimalarials; second, learn about various antimalarial drug targets within the parasite; third, identify novel plasmodial drug targets or pathways; fourth, evaluate various aspects of mode of action of antimalarials; and fifth, analyze the importance of artemisinin based combinations. Malaria is entirely preventable and treatable disease. The primary objective of treatment is to ensure a rapid and complete elimination of malarial parasite from the patient's blood in order to prevent progression of uncomplicated malaria to severe disease or death. The other objective is to prevent the chronic infection that leads to malaria related anemia. From a public health perspective, treatment is meant to reduce transmission of infections to others by reducing the infectious reservoir and to prevent the emergence and spread of resistance to antimalarial medicines. World Health Organization recommends artemisinin-based combination therapies for the treatment of uncomplicated malaria caused by Plasmodium falciparum parasite. By combining two active ingredients or drugs with different mechanism of action on the parasite, artemisinin combination therapies are the most effective antimalarial medicines available today. World Health Organization currently recommends 5 artemisinin combination therapies for use against Plasmodium falciparum malaria. The choice of artemisinin combination therapy should be based on the result of therapeutic efficacy studies against local strains of Plasmodium falciparum malaria. The treatment of children and adults with uncomplicated Plasmodium falciparum malaria is generally recommended with artemisinin-based combination therapies. There are 5 artemisinin-based combination therapies which are there in the market. First, artemether plus lumefantrine. Second, artesunate plus amidoquine. Third, artesunate plus mefloquine. Fourth, dihydroartemisinin plus piperacin. Fifth, artesunate plus sulfadoxine pyrimethamine. Artemisinin combination therapy regimes generally are given for a 3-day treatment with an artemisinin derivative. Patients with suspected malaria should have parasitological confirmation of diagnosis with either microscopy or rapid diagnostic tests before antimalarial treatments is started. Treatment based on clinical ground should be given if the diagnostic testing is not immediately accessible within 2 hours of patient presenting the treatment. Prompt treatment, which is within 24 hours of fever onset with an effective and safe antimalarial, is necessary to prevent life-threatening complications. JSP strain, which stands for Jaswant Singh Bhattacharya, for thick and thin films is the standard method or protocol used by the laboratories under National Malaria Eradication Program in India. The effectiveness of early diagnosis and prompt treatment as the principal technical component of the global strategy to malaria control is highly dependent on the efficacy, safety, availability, affordability, and accessibility of antimalarial drugs. The effective antimalarial therapy not only reduces the mortality and morbidity of malaria, but also reduces the risk of resistance to antimalarial drugs. Therefore, antimalarial chemotherapy is the keystone of malaria control efforts. On the other hand, not many drugs have been developed to tackle malaria. of the 1223 new drugs registered between the year 1975 to 1996, only 3 were antimalarials. Hence, there is an urgent need for a rational antimalarial treatment policies. The timeline over here shows the various antimalarial drugs which have been discovered over the years. Chloroquine and quinine was one of the frontline drugs in the antimalarial arsenals from 1940s until the past decade. However, the clinical usefulness of chloroquine and quinine has been much compromised by the evolution, emergence and spread of chloroquine or quinine resistant malarial parasite. Alternatively, plant-derived drugs such as artemisinin has shown more effective therapeutic results and favorable clinical outcomes in the recent decades. Further, to diminish the risk of onset of resistant parasite, WHO now recommends artemisinin combination therapy in combating potent antimalarial drug resistance. These combinations differ in the mechanism of action because they include one or more potent antimalarial drugs in combination with artemisinin. And many of these drugs which are being used along with artemisinin includes sulfadoxine pyrimethamine, proguanil, chloroquine, etc. So all these drugs will be discussed subsequently. The first drug we will discuss is sulfadoxine pyrimethamine, also marketed by the name Fansidar. Fansidar is an antimalarial agent which acts on the asexual intraerythrocytic stages of human malarial parasites. Fansidar contains the active ingredients of sulfadoxine and pyrimethamine. So both these drugs are in a synergistic combination of 20:1. Fansidar is available as tablets containing 500 mg sulfadoxine and 25 mg pyrimethamine, which is shown in this figure. Fansidar is effective against chloroquine resistant strains of Plasmodium falciparum also. Plasmodium has the capability to exploit host plasma folate as its primary folate source. Folate is a broad term that represents 9 folate derivatives, which includes folic acid, dihydrofolate, tetrahydrofolate, 5,10-methylene tetrahydrofolate, 5,10-methylene tetrahydrofolate, 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate, 5-formyl tetrahydrofolate, 10-formyl tetrahydrofolate, and 5-formyl imino tetrahydrofolate that are found in mammalian and microorganism cells. Folates and essential cofactors are required for both malarial parasite development and production of host erythrocytes. Folates and essential cofactors are required for both malarial parasite development and production of human erythrocyte. They are involved in delivering one carbon unit to 3 major metabolic pathways, which are biosynthesis of amino acid methionine, purine and pyrimidine biosynthesis. So, the biosynthesis processes of purine and pyrimidines are crucial for DNA synthesis. Thus, the inhibition of enzymes involved in these pathways greatly affects the actively dividing cell division, DNA and protein synthesis. So, the sulfadoxine and pyrimethamine targets these enzymes which are present within this biosynthesis pathways. A simplified scheme of folate metabolism is shown over here. Sulfadoxine drug inhibit the dihydropteroate synthetase DHPase enzyme while pyrimethamine inhibit the dihydrofolate reductase DHFR enzyme in the intraerythrocytic parasite. Interruption of folate biosynthesis pathway by DHFR and DHPase inhibitors creates reduced level of completely reduced tetrahydrofolate, a crucial cofactor required during 1-carbon unit transfer in purine, pyrimidine, and amino acid methionine biosynthesis process. Although antifolates have been successfully used for malaria treatment for long, but despite this, the precise folate metabolism mechanism of the parasite is less known as compared to its human counterpart. The next antimalarial drug is primaquine, which is a potent gametocytocidal. Primaquine, an 8-aminoquinone, is the only commonly available and widely recommended antimalarial drug that prevents the Plasmodium vivax and Plasmodium ovale malaria relapses in the patients. It is also the only potent gametocytocide which targets gametocytes development in the malaria affected patients. Primaquine, 8-aminoquinone, is the only commonly available and widely recommended antimalarial that prevents the Plasmodium vivax and Plasmodium ovale malaria relapses in the patients. It is also the only potent gametocytocide which targets the gametocytes development. It is prescribed against the Plasmodium falciparum malaria cases. The first extensive use of primaquine was in the Korean War, where more than 250,000 US soldiers were given 14-day radical primaquine curative regimes to eliminate long latent Plasmodium vivax parasites. Over the years, primaquine has become increasingly important and an integral part of national malaria programs of various malaria endemic countries. The Malaria Policy Advisor Committee of WHO strongly recommends primaquine as a gametocytocide for Plasmodium falciparum malariae and prescribes a single dose of 0.75 mg base per kg primaquine along with artemisinin based combination therapies for uncomplicated Plasmodium falciparum malaria. But in malaria affected areas that are threatened by artemisinin resistance and elimination areas which have not yet implemented primaquine for falciparum malaria are directed to use a lower dose, that is a single 0.25 mg base per kg primaquine dose for all confirmed Plasmodium falciparum malaria patients except for pregnant women and infants on the first day of treatment regime in addition to an artemisinin combination therapy. However, primaquine is generally not given to malaria patients deficient in glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase enzyme due to hemolytic toxicity. Since its approval in 1952 by the Food and Drug Administration USA, primaquine has been established as a potent hypnosizonticidal drug due to its ability to kill latent stages which are called as the hypnozoites and the developing liver stages of Plasmodium vivax and Plasmodium ovale malaria parasites. The mode of action of primaquine is poorly understood. However, it severely disrupts the metabolic pathways of plasmodial mitochondria. The anti-plasmodial activity of primaquine is possibly attributed to interference with the function of ubiquinone, also referred as coenzyme Q10, which is an electron carrier in the respiratory chain. Another predicted mechanism of antimalarial activity is by generation of highly reactive intracellular metabolites that produce toxic oxidative potential. Artemisinin, a plant-derived potent antimalarial which is being recommended by WHO in combination with partnered drugs, is one of the gold standard drugs which is recommended for malaria control and treatment. Artemisinin, derived from an ancient Chinese herbal medication, has been long regarded as a wonder heal for malaria. Artemisinin, also pronounced as Qinghao-Su, is a sesquiterpene lactone isolated from the shrub Artemisia annua. The picture of Artemisia annua is shown over here. Artemisia annua, also called as sweet wormwood or Qinghao, has been used as Chinese folklore medicine for at least 2000 years, originally to treat hemorrhoids. Artemisinin and its derivative are now regarded as the standard, safe and effective antimalarial drugs for treatment of malaria in malaria endemic countries across the globe, and WHO now recommends the use of artemisinin combination therapy in the various national drug development or the drug policies. In 1967, the government of the People's Republic of China started a program to screen traditional therapies and search potent drug activities of the traditional medicines which are inscribed in their earliest known documentation. In January 1969, Professor Tu Youyou led a scientist team under the Project 523 to develop effective malaria chemotherapy from traditional Chinese remedies. The Project 523 involved over 500 scientists across 60 different laboratories within China. In 1971, Chinese chemists extracted from the leafy portion of the Artemisia annua plant the active ingredient responsible for its antiplasmodial activity. This compound was named as Qinghao-Su or artemisinin. Artemisinin, a sesquiterpene, contains a peroxide group and is distinct from other antimalarials in absence of any nitrogen-containing heterocyclic ring. The picture of the scientist is shown over here, and for this novel discovery of artemisinin, Professor Youyou too was awarded with the Nobel Prize in the year 2015. For the pioneer work done by Professor Tu Youyou along with his team, she was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 2015, shared with the other Nobel laureates. Her work was basically for the discovery of novel therapy or the artemisinin therapy against malaria. She is currently placed in China Academy of Traditional Chinese Medicine located in Beijing, China. In 1984, a group of scientists from the US Army's Division of Experimental Therapeutics, Walter Reed Army Institute of Research, accomplished the artemisinin extraction with petroleum ether chromatographic partitioning and published its potent antimalarial activity against both chloroquine sensitive and chloroquine resistant strains of Plasmodium falciparum in vitro. Further modifications were done on artemisinin to improve its solubility both in oil and water and efficacy, which led to the synthesis of its derivative. These derivatives form an important class of antimalarials and have been incorporated within modern antimalarial treatment regimes. So all the derivatives are shown over here, which includes artemether, artesunate and artemoil. The various mode of action of artemisinin are: first, the intraparasitic heme iron catalyzes the cleavage of artemisinin endoperoxide bridge to generate free radical intermediates that alkylates vital parasite proteins, thus killing the parasite. Second, the interaction between heme and artemisinin results in membrane damage of the parasite. And third, recently it is being proposed that artemisinin act by inhibiting the PF-ATP6 enzyme, which is sarcoendoplasmic reticulum calcium ATPase, or known as SARCA, disrupting the calcium homeostasis in the parasite and killing the parasite. Artemisinins are useful to treat severe malaria cases which are even chloroquine resistant. These can be administered by several routes in human. The water-soluble derivatives artesunate is given via oral, intramuscular, intravenous and intrarectal route. Most of the artemisinin derivatives are metabolized to dihydroartemisinin. The picture over here, if we see, is a comparison of artemisinin mode of action with the conventional treatment. So we can see the artemisinin have a potent antimalarial activity, which is basically due to the peroxide group in the 1,2,4 trioxane system. So artemisinin affect a number of intraerythrocytic stages and the gametocyte, while most of the conventional treatment target one of these stages within the parasite growth and development in the human host. Widespread resistance to most of the commonly prescribed antimalarials such as quinine, chloroquine, sulfadoxine, pyrimethamine and even artemisinin have been reported across malaria endemic nations in the past few decades. The fight against this drug-resistant menace has transformed by the discovery of a new class of highly potent and therapeutically safe antimalarial medicines referred as artemisinin. Recently, the WHO, or the World Health Organization, has recommended the use of artemisinin-based combination therapies rather than artemisinin alone, which was used as monotherapy. WHO in 2015 defines artemisinin-based combination therapy as a combination of an artemisinin derivative with a longer acting antimalarial that has a different mode of action. The combination therapy involves two or more classes of antimalarials with different mechanisms of action. The main advantage is to prevent or delay drug resistance and to protect current antimalarial medicines used for malaria treatment. Artemisinin combination therapies are the most effective antimalarial medicines available till date. So WHO recommends oral artemisinin based monotherapy should be removed from the market because their use will hasten the development of parasite resistance. Countries across the world which are endemic with malaria need to ensure that the patients are diagnosed properly and take the full dose of artemisinin combination therapy so as to prevent the development of drug resistance against these vital drugs. Artemisinins derived from Artemisia annua is an important part of the antimalarial chemotherapy regime and provides a fascinating opening for the development of new arsenals in antimalarial brigade. Artemisinin combination therapy is a combination of a rapidly acting artemisinin derivative with a longer acting, more slowly eliminated partner drug. Artemisinin component rapidly clears parasite from the blood, reducing parasite number by a factor of approximately 10,000 in each 48-hour asexual cycle, and is also active against sexual stages of the parasite that mediate onward transmission of mosquitoes. The longer acting partner drug clears the remaining parasites and provide protection against development of resistance to the artemisinin derivative. Partner drugs with longer elimination half-lives also provide a period of post-treatment prophylaxis. Currently, 5 artemisinin combination therapies are available for malaria treatment. They are as follows: artemether plus lumefantrine, artesunate plus amidoquine, artesunate plus mefloquine, artesunate plus sulfadoxine pyrimethamine, dihydroartemisinin plus piperacin. In the treatment of Plasmodium falciparum infection in malaria endemic regions, artemisinin monotherapies have been prohibited and replaced with artemisinin-based combination therapy. So if we see the graph over here, the sale of dihydroartemisinin piperacin has been around 2 million per year, and naphthquin artemisinin was around 1 million per year. Mefloquine artesunate numbers are significantly lower. The total number of malaria patients as estimated by WHO in 2009 has fallen to 225 million cases. So we can clearly see the artemisinin doses have proved to be vital in malaria control and eradication programs. According to WHO, Global Antimalarial Drug Policy Database in February 2009 predicts around 80 countries has adopted artemisinin combination therapies as the first line treatment for uncomplicated Plasmodium falciparum malaria. One of the following 5 acts are prescribed to treat children and adults with uncomplicated Plasmodium falciparum malaria except pregnant women in their first trimester, which includes artemether lumefantrine co-formulated tablet, artesunate amidoquine base co-formulated tablet, artesunate plus mefloquine co-blistered tablets, artesunate plus sulfadoxine pyrimethamine co-blistered tablets, and dihydroartemisinin piperacin co-formulated tablets. The artemisinin combination therapy formulation regimes are recommended as per the weight and age group. The 3-day treatment duration is strongly recommended by artemisinin combination therapy regimes. These combination therapy involves 2 or more classes of antimalarials which are having different mechanisms of action so that the resistance is not developed against the current antimalarial medicines which are used for malaria treatments. The graph shows the distribution of artemisinin based combination therapy and rapid diagnostic test kits in Southeast Asian regions from 2005 to 2011. Further, artemisinin combined with rapid diagnostic test is an important strategy to reduce Plasmodium falciparum transmission cases, especially in Southeast Asian region, which is regarded as the epicenter of emergence of drug-resistant parasites. The number of rapid diagnostic kits has increased significantly from 1.2 million in the year 2005 to 11.9 million kits in 2011. Further, the availability and utilization of artemisinin combination therapy in this area has increased from 0.08 million in the year 2005 to 3.5 million artemisinin combination therapies in the year 2011. About 43 times increase over 6 years times, which is from 2005 to 2011. All these statistics can be seen from the graph which is presented in front. Artemisinin based combination therapy is considered the gold standard for the treatment of malaria, but due to the global demand which has outpaced the production and pricing of this compound, so semi-synthetic methods for the development and synthesis of artemisinin has been created that just take 3 months, helping to ensure a more stable supply to meet the higher demand of artemisinin combination therapy, while the agricultural method, which includes cultivation and activation extraction, includes about 10 months for the seed to develop into a shrub and subsequently the extraction of artemisinin from this shrub. So the semi-synthetic method is having an advantage that it is able to synthesize the artemisinin in a shorter period of time than the agricultural method. Effective malaria control, such as effectual vector control and global deployment of artemisinin combination therapies, especially in areas of unstable malaria transmission that exist in Asia and Latin American regions and the remaining countries of the world where malaria is endemic, are effective disease management measures that can help in dipping malaria transmission rate and in restricting the spread of drug-resistant parasite. The number of artemisinin-based combinations distributed at country level have increased significantly between 2004 to 2006, but the rate of increase slowed during the period of 2007 to 2008. So we can see from the data that this slowdown is specifically due to the funding constraints which were following due to a low approval rate of the grants for malaria activity by the global funds to fight AIDS, tuberculosis and malaria. Despite this data from manufacturers shows that a 18% increase in artemisinin combination therapy sales to the public sector in 2008 compared to 2007. So it is this indicating that there is a substantial increase in the deployment of artemisinin combination treatment courses across the highly burdened countries with malaria endemicity. Artemisinin based combination therapies have proved to be an essential and vital tool in the efforts to eliminate malaria. In all 6 WHO regions, which includes African, regions of the Americas, Eastern Mediterranean, European, Southeast Asia and Western Pacific, malaria transmission have been reported to reduce due to the use of artemisinin based combination therapies. So if we see the graphical representation over here, as in the year 2003, most of the African districts were using the anti-malarial medicines such as chloroquine and sulfadoxine. Subsequently, with the use of the artemisinin combination therapies, the scenario has changed and there has been a decline in malaria incidences. So there is a decrease in global malaria mortality deaths. There is a eradication or reduction in the global malaria incidences just because by the use of artemisinin based combination therapy. So these combination therapies have proved to be a vital and essential part of the current anti-malarial drugs which are being used for malaria treatment. So students, let us summarize what we have learned in this module. Artemisinin, a plant-derived potent antimalarial, are currently recommended by World Health Organization in combination with partner drug to check the expansion of resistance. The artemisinin based combination commercially available are artemether with lumefantrine, artesunate with amiodarone, artesunate with mefloquine, artesunate with sulfadoxine pyrimethamine, dihydroartemisinin with piperacin. Artemisinin and artemisinin based combination therapies are already an essential part of treatment for multi-drug resistant Plasmodium falciparum. So, if we lose artemisinin or its derivative to resistance, the malaria infection may become untreatable in absence of any licensed vaccine or alternate medicines. Hence, it is necessary to develop newer strategies and novel drugs so as to delay the emergence of drug resistance in the parasite. With this note, I conclude my lecture. Thank you very much.